Welcome, welcome everyone. It is Elizabeth, the owner of Ave Parfum. It's been a while since I've done one of these, so I wanted to take the time to introduce you to a new and pretty fantastic brand that we got in called Exaltatum. It comes from London, and the perfumer, her name is Aglesia, and she was trained at the Grass Institute of Perfumery. So what I find really interesting about these fragrances is that they have more of a classic feel to them than you often, find in niche perfumery. You can sense that there's some technical skill in them, and they each have quite a long list of notes. Introduced 3 perfumes and has recently added 2 more. So there's 2 new ones. And I wanted to start with the first one, which is Ruby Wood. That's her, I think it's her bestseller. It's definitely our bestseller. Here it is right here. Hopefully you can see the bottle. It's nice thick glass, and it has this gold plaque in the front, and then the bottle with the logo, the bottle cap with the logo imprinted into it. I believe they're all eau de parfum, although I'm pretty sure Alicia told me that the concentration is actually eau de parfum intense. And yeah, anyway, I find them long wearing on me. So Ruby Wood, let's start with the notes. Let's see, we got rose petals, red berries, cassis, tangerine, pink pepper, coriander, cardamom, geranium, jasmine, raspberry, violet, coffee, patchouli, frankincense, myrrh, labdanum, oud, sandalwood, and musk. She did not skimp on ingredients. Let's see now. I have tried all of these perfumes, but I'm not super familiar with them yet, so I'm still kind of building up my impressions about them. I believe on the website we refer to Ruby Wood as a fruitchuli, and I think that's totally accurate, because the main thing I smell as soon as it hits my nose is that juxtaposition between fruit and patchouli. Those two are just super strong. I've had it on for a while here, maybe like 15 minutes, so I'm just gonna revisit it real quick. The first thing I wanna say about the fruit is that anytime I've worn it, the fruit has lasted the whole way through. And I can't necessarily pinpoint the fruit. I mean, I know the notes say what they are, but if I were to just smell it, it does smell just like some type of red berry juice blend. It's juicy and fresh. It doesn't go the jammy territory to me, which I actually kind of appreciate, because I'm finding a lot of those rose fragrances are going too gourmand and sticky for me, but this remains clean and crisp and juicy, and continues to just have that contrast with the darker notes. So along with patchouli, you have these darker notes like frankincense, myrrh, oud, and coffee, and I feel like those notes just sort of create this darker backbone that gives the fragrance a real depth and intensity that you don't always find in these fragrances. A lot of times I feel like when I smell a fruitchuli, I do smell the patch, but it doesn't necessarily make the fragrance dark. So I feel like with these other darker notes, the patch is really kind of pulled down and made even darker. I actually personally get coffee pretty strongly on my skin, and I think on me it's even a creamy coffee. So I get this kind of nice dark roast creaminess that has actually lasted from the first spritz to, like I said, now about 15 minutes later. I do notice some oud, but I wanted to point out that I don't feel anything about this fragrance reminds me of like a Tom Ford fragrance. It doesn't go Tuscan leather. It doesn't go Middle Eastern whatsoever. If oud isn't your thing, don't let that scare you off from trying this. And I wanted to move on then to Mimosa Gold, which I've also sprayed on about 15-20 minutes ago. Oh, the notes for Mimosa Gold are, get ready, plum, almond flower, champaca, star anise, petitgrain, acacia, mimosa absolute, ylang ylang, heliotrope, sandalwood, tonka bean, orris, benzoin, patchouli, and vetiver. So Iglesia, I'm pretty sure she said she created this fragrance to bring her back to her childhood, the innocence of her childhood. Mimosa was a scent that was just around her a lot and just takes her right back to those days. What I can say about Mimosa Gold is gold is so fitting for the name because it is just like dripping with yellow. And when I say dripping, it's even not juicy, but sort of syrupy. It's kind of like a viscous type of quality that I get up front. I assume it's from the plum. It is kind of like an orchard stone fruit kind of syrupiness, but not overly sweet. It doesn't get to be like sticky sweet or sickening sweet. It's just really, it's present, and it just, I feel like it kind of paves the way for what's to come. And what comes is Mimosa, which is absolutely the star of this show. So if you are a lover of Mimosa, this is one you absolutely have to try. She uses, the finest natural ingredients that she can find, and she used this special Mimosa Absolute from France because it has a creamy quality that she really wanted to have in this fragrance. So with the Mimosa, what I really pick up here is a lot of, I just get a lot of the almond flower. I find that to be the second strongest note. And I would say it's not a gourmand almond. It's not a roasted almond or a marzipan kind of thing. It's more like a raw green almond. I think it also adds to the creaminess. And then with the heliotrope, it has like a powdery, maybe there's orris in here too. So I think all those combined give it like a really, delicate's not even the word because it's really, I don't know, thick, velvety, soft, and a little bit creamy. So the other notes, I feel like this one's just super, super well blended because I don't get like, ylang ylang, which is a pretty intense white flower. But I don't actually notice it here. I feel like it just kind of maybe adds to, or gives it a floralcy outside of Mimosa, but it's not intense. So again, this is truly just an intense Mimosa fragrance. And if I didn't say it, Mimosa Gold is one of the new ones, along with St. Paul's, which I have here, and we're going to talk about a little bit. So St. Paul's was named after the cathedral in London. One of the perfumer's favorite places to visit. The notes for St. Paul's are bergamot, pear, pink pepper, cardamom, mandarin, orange flower, jasmine, dates, labdanum, tolu balsam, vanilla bourbon, sandalwood, vetiver, patchouli, frankincense, and amber. So again, a lot going on here. Now, as just like the other ones, I sprayed this one on earlier. So the main thing I want to say about St. Paul's is I feel like it's mainly an amber resinous fragrance, certainly woody. I get the smell of, you know, old wood, aged wood might be a better word. I would say as it dries down, I get another sort of juxtaposition that I enjoy in this fragrance, which is the kind of bitterness of like raw frankincense, juxtaposed with a sweetness that surprisingly isn't vanilla. I was surprised to see vanilla in the notes because I really don't smell vanilla, which is great because, you know, I personally don't love heavy vanilla in a churchy fragrance. So what I do think I'm picking up that gives it a sweetness though is the Tolu balsam. And I just find the whole thing, even though it has all these notes, I find it to be really smooth. Like it's an incredibly smooth fragrance. It just has like I hate to say ancient, you know, because St. Paul's isn't ancient, but it has a really, yeah, churchy feel to it. Like a church that's been around for a long time. The focus isn't so intensely on frankincense and myrrh. So you get the churchiness, but I would say it's just super wearable for men or women, any gender, but just unusually pleasant, I guess I'd say. So the last two perfumes in the collection are PERGOLA, which, as you might imagine, because of the name, it is incredibly green and crisp and fresh. And I don't have the notes here, but to me, it just reminds me straight up of galbanum. So I think if you're a fan of, you know, the really green classic fragrances like Chanel No. 19, yeah, you might enjoy PERGOLA. And the last one in the collection is called OSMANTHUS Noble. And that one is let's see, it's like a sueded osmanthus. So you get this intense osmanthus, but it's not sweet. It doesn't go in an osmanthus tea type of direction. It's not, I wouldn't call it a light fragrance. I would call it an intense, darker fragrance. I think it's a popular one with the guys. We haven't had it long enough for me to know that, but I think that's what Aglesia told me about it. Yeah, that kind of sums it up for Exaltatum. I hope you check them out. AveParfum.com. Thank you for joining me today. Bye.